Hi, I'm Shannon with Itsy Bitsy Book Bits, and here's what readers are saying about Breaking the Curse by J.C. Brown. Breaking the Curse was a wild ride in the best possible way. I went in expecting a dark fairy tale retelling and came out mildly obsessed, emotionally compromised, and maybe rethinking my stance on tentacles. Don't judge me. J.C. Brown takes elements of Beauty and the Beast and The Little Mermaid and spins them into something moodier, steamier, and way darker. Bree is an artist with a deep fear of the ocean, which, same. And she gets thrown into the cursed underwater world of Argo, a brooding sea creature who can't speak, but still manages to burn up every page he's on. The tension between them, immaculate. The stakes, high. The spice, unapologetically intense. This isn't your fluffy fairy tale. It's weird, bold, and leans hard into the dark paranormal romance territory, and I loved that it didn't hold back. The underwater setting is lush, immersive, and the push and pull dynamic between Bree and Argo had me flying through chapters. That said, I do wish a few moments had more room to breathe. Some emotional beats felt a little rushed, and I would have loved even more downtime with the characters outside of the curse countdown. But overall, I had a blast. If you're into dark romance with teeth, fairy tales that get twisted, and you're not afraid of things getting a little weird in the best way, Breaking the Curse is absolutely worth the plunge. That review came from Mecca Weaver on Goodreads. Here is what Cindy had to say on Goodreads. Two of my favorite fairy tales in one story, amazing and steamy. Definitely for adults only. Well worth the reading, so don't let the fairy tale run you off. Paranormal fairy tale makes the world of reading more interesting, that's for sure. Argo is cursed and needs to change his attitude before his time runs out. Bree fears the sea, and that is exactly where she is. Now she needs to get herself out of trouble. So will Argo save the girl? Will Bree fear Argo or love him? Will they both be rescued and find their happy ever after, or will they continue to suffer? This author may have used a couple of fairy tales, but she definitely put her own twist to them. Her writing is well planned and so much fun to read. I found this story to be intriguing as well as interesting. It has it all: interesting characters, mystery, romance, paranormal intrigue, and a perfect amount of steamy bedroom play. Truly a fun, fast read, a really must have to fit in with your other paranormal stories. Here is one that comes from Living My Dream 687 on BookBub. Breaking the Curse by J.C. Brown, 5-star review. All I can say is wow. This book is everything that I would want in a creature romance. There is hot and steamy, spicy scenes. The description of the ocean world, as well as that of the physical description of Argo, is nothing short of breathtaking. The painting that are described are as detailed and defined as the scenes themselves. The storyline is amazing, with heartbreak, a heart wrenching decision, and last but not least, a desperate desire to find the love of their lives. All of this and an evil sea witch on top, just to make things interesting. This book is easy to read and fast paced. It is 28 chapters long, but I read it in one sitting. I just couldn't put it down. J.C. Brown is a magnificent storyteller and really made me feel like I was there with Gabriella and Argo. If I could give this one more than 5 stars, it would be much higher. This one is from Michael Mahoney on Amazon. This book was such a fun and steamy surprise. I love the way it blended elements of classic stories into something completely fresh and daring. Bree's fear of the sea made her such an interesting heroine to drop into this story, and her first meeting with Argo had me hooked instantly. The ocean setting added this eerie, magical vibe that set the perfect stage for their romance. Argo is both broody and fascinating, cursed but determined to find love before time runs out. I really enjoyed how his vulnerability contrasted with his intensity, and the way he interacted with Bree made their connection feel both tender and dangerous. Their chemistry was off the charts, and yes, the tentacle twist was not only unexpected, but written in a way that was spicy, playful, and completely addictive. What I liked most was how the story balanced fantasy, steam, and a touch of the suspense. It felt magical, seductive, and a little haunting all at once. By the end, I was fully invested in Bree and Argo, rooting for them to break the curse and get their happily ever after. This is definitely one of those reads that keeps you turning the pages and leaves you wanting more. Our last review today comes from Mandy on Amazon. Breaking the Curse by J.C. Brown is the first book I've read by this author. The paranormal elements in the synopsis caught my attention, so I thought I'd check it out. I'm very glad I did. This book captured my attention from beginning to end with amazing world building and wonderfully unique characters. This fairy tale retelling with an adult twist was full of drama, danger, love, curses, and monsters. J.C. Brown captures the beauty and chaos of the underwater world of the ocean through her descriptive writing. The story she weaves is, at once, familiar and uniquely its own. The characters are realistic, believable, and lovable, and some you love to hate. There was just the right amount of spice to keep it interesting, but was balanced out with the rest of the story. This book definitely makes me want to read more about Bree and Argo. Their story deserves more time. Thanks so much for tuning in to hear what readers are saying about Breaking the Curse by J.C. Brown. Until next time.